Right, let's settle for the news. Now, Energy Minister John Peter Amewu has warned against attacks on staff of PDS by aggrieved Ghanaians who feel dissatisfied with the current power situation in the country. The minister, who was appalled by these attacks, said that such acts will not go unpunished, vowing to hunt down the person who attacked the PDS staff at Kokrobite and hand him over to the police for prosecution. Mr. Amewu issued the warning when the overlord of Kokrobite and elders of the community visited him in his office to apologize for the attack.
This gentleman that has been slashed with cutlass, he's gone there with a noble mind, very good intention to make sure that power is restored to the community. And then he ended up being attacked by the same community that is expected to provide these services. So I think it's quite unfortunate. The law agencies are taking this issue very seriously. And of course, the gentleman who is behind this act will not be spared, because this should serve as a warning to all citizens of this country that they do not treat people in that manner. It's unfair. And I'm extremely, I'm not fine when I heard the incident. I mean, it baffles me how we should begin to do this into our own self. So, Nana, I want to say a very big thanks for using your limited time, to call on me to explain the details of this incident. As a chief within your society, you are expected to exercise some kind of control within the people that you govern. And I think that you should warn your people that we don't expect to see such things any longer. Because unfortunately, when things happen like this, it is the chief, the assemblyman, and the opinion leaders like Doctor and all the other people that people are looking up to. And the people who are the perpetrators, nobody see them here. They are not here with us today. And you have to be wasting your own time here. So we are prepared to serve you. We are prepared to work with you, especially this government. But we will also not tolerate this sort of nonsense in our society. It's uncalled for, and we will not tolerate it.
Now let's move on. And the Electoral Commission has dismissed protests by the opposition NDC over a statement it released on Wednesday's Inter-Party Advisory Committee meeting. The EC stated that the parties agreed on the compilation of a new voters register for the 2020 elections. The NDC, however, says though it is not against the new voter roll, it cannot be said that the decision was made at the said meeting. Elvis Ifri-Ankra is the party's director of elections.
The chairperson, in her explanation, said that it was going to cost a lot of money to do an extensive registration, and that they intended to compile a new voters register for the 2020 elections with biometric features and facial recognition technology. Nobody, either from MPP, NDC, CPP, or any of the other parties, made any comment, because that was not the issue on the table for discussions. And so we continued and had our deliberations. So we find it very strange that the EC will come out with a statement and claim that all the parties agreed that there will be compilation of a new group.
What steps does the party intend to take in this regard?
So we are writing to the EC, we are issuing a statement to the public stating our position that this register. We are in principle not against compilation of a new voters register. We believe that such a matter is a major issue that has serious ramifications for the credibility of the entire electoral process, and therefore has to be tabled properly.
And speaking in an exclusive interview with JoyNews MFAPO, the Deputy Commissioner of the Electoral Commission in charge of Finance and Administration, Dr. Bosman Asari, insisted the issue was discussed at the IPAC meeting.
Yesterday's meeting has, had one of the main agendas as the district level elections. And in the discussion of the district level elections, the Commission mentioned that we are going to have a particular mode of registration, And we made it very clear that the reason why we wanted to have that mode of registration happens to be the fact that in 2020 we are going to have a new register. So if we should resort to the offline mode of registration, which will require the purchasing of certain equipments, which we will no longer be using them in 2020, it will not be worth it. So we took a decision that we will be having an online registration. And because of the online registration, next year we told them that we will be doing a new register. So that was made very clear at the meeting. And when we mentioned that nobody raised any contrary view, whether they were against or even they were supportive, there was nothing like that. So at the meeting, we came to the conclusion that this was something the partners were very much, pretty much excited about. And the thing is that it's not something we are even doing it in 2019, it's 2020. So certainly this is a discussion that will come up severally. Something which will not happen this year, is 2020.
So when this issue came up, are you saying that none of the parties raised any issue about it? At least they heard that we had raised this, but it wasn't up for discussion, was it?
No, in terms of up for discussion, when we talk about elections is very broad. And the main agenda for yesterday had to do with the district level elections. And when it comes to elections, we have to register Ghanaians who have not had a chance to register and those who have also just attained the age of 18. So in that process, we have to come up with a system of registration. And we shouldn't also forget that IPAC is an advisory body. So it's not like anything the Electoral Commission will do, then everything, if we think this is the right thing to do, then we are waiting for the parties to say yes or no. For that one, we are not going to do that. I don't think they have any particular position apart from publicly engaging in some partisan wranglings and, if you like, rantings. Well, privately, when they meet you, they come to us, we work together, we put structures in place to work together. Yesterday at the meeting, when we mentioned that we're going to do a new register, we even discussed that this new register will have certain features which the current one doesn't have.
What did the NDC say in particular?
They didn't say that.
You could call it Showdown at Waikiki, but it's not the title of a movie. Perhaps it's the best description of how a mobile money merchant single-handedly managed to foil a robbery. The merchant, after being forced to hand over 10,000 cedis in cash in broad daylight by armed men, chased the suspected robbers with his vehicle until he was able to knock them off their motorbike. His Pontiac Vibe vehicle was completely mangled in the process, and also he crashed into an electric pole. But Maxwell Agwagba can tell you a lot more in this report.
Scores of residents are seen in a video holding clubs. A gun-wielding policeman is holding one of the suspects, his face covered in blood. The presence of the policeman is not deterrent enough, as some of the residents bay for the blood of the robber. A voice could be heard saying in Twi, "Let's kill him." According to eyewitnesses, the two gun-wielding robbers attacked the mobile money merchant at Taifa, Burkina around 8:30 a.m. Wednesday morning. According to eyewitnesses, the mobile money merchant chased the robbers from Taifa, Burkina to this place called Taifa Waikiki. As the robbers attempted to negotiate a curve here, he rammed his vehicle into them. The windscreen of the 2012 Pontiac Vibe lies shattered. It is mangled.
Then the other guy who had the gun struggled with the guy who was...
James Saki is a resident of Taifa Waikiki. He was standing about 300 meters away from where the mobile money merchant kicked the robbers off their motorbike. He says he demonstrated courage, bravery that deserves a reward.
I don't know what came over him, but you know what, he's really brave, and probably they should buy his car for him because he did a very good job. He made the job very simple for the police.
One of the robbers tried hiding in this marshy area, but for the intention of this dog, the residents here wouldn't have found him, It spotted the blood of the robber and traced it all the way to this area. When they came here, the man had covered himself with the grass here. Over there is his blood-stained long sleeves. I've now met the mobile money merchant with his mother and wife around the Achimota police station. They are from the hospital and now heading to the Accra Regional Police Headquarters. He has been narrating the terrifying incident.
I went to home and I arrived and I came. When I came about 20 to 25 minutes, I just saw two guys on the motorbike and one just removed the pistol from the pocket. Good. So I was like, oh, big man, what's up? So I knew it was a robbery. Because at a gun, nobody would come to your shop with a gun. For what reason? Around that time. So I was like, oh, boss, make you talk. So then he shot. Then I dodged. I said, boss, what's up? So we were talking. They saw like I wasn't afraid of their pistol. So later then I was struggling with them. And they started shooting. I had to run out of the shop and leave the shop for them. So I went to stand somewhere and I was just waiting for them to do whatever they want to do. So after doing it, then after they went, then I just started my car and I just parked my car and I drove off and chased them off. So chasing them over, they were still shooting. I don't know, they were shooting. I was also in the car, still shooting. I was still following them, shooting. So they were about to branch. Then I had to also swerve the car a little and used to hit them. So I hit them and I somersaulted about 3 times. So I was getting out of the car and I saw one of the robbers taking the gun to shoot me inside the car. So I had to rush in out of the car and I just kicked him with my leg. What's happening? I thank God that I was outside when it happened, but if I could have been inside, it would have been a different thing altogether.
Public Relations Officer of the Accra Region, DSP Efiatenge, says the suspects are currently in police custody and will soon be arraigned.
We were able to retrieve a revolver from them and also the bag that belonged to the owner of the shop. So presently the two are in police custody and they are assisting police in investigation. So we retrieved the bag. However, the owner of the shop says the money it contained was not up to, but the bag itself was retrieved.
And before we go, residents of Ashoma, Bokobi, Boy and Pantang are angry about the poor state of roads in their communities. They complain they have tried on many occasions to get authorities to fix these roads, but the efforts have so far yielded no result. Patricia Roxon Hammond reports that some youth in these communities have resorted to filling potholes with sand to make them motorable at a cost.
Drivers hardly keep straight on this road here in Abokobi. They always veer off into other lanes and sometimes drive dangerously only on the shoulders of the road to avoid slumping into terrible potholes. In fact, many parts of the Abokobi township are yet to taste bitumen and gravels. Ashoman to Abokobi, Pantine to Abokobi, Abokobi to Boy all have terrible roads.
From Agbogba, there through this place to the Pantine is not good at all. This have been done 3 years ago. So I don't know what we are waiting for. I'm coming. Or are they waiting for election time before they will come and start something about it? If there is a pregnant woman, you are taking her to Panta Hospital, you cry. You are a woman.
In fact, young quantity, Yamisen can acquire bread. You have fasted for so many years, in more than 10 to 12 years.
Several appeals to authorities have fallen on deaf ears. The roads are very terrible and we are suffering here.
Village, yeah, bread, boy, yeah, bread. From Abokobi to Pantan Junction, still. From Abokobi to Ahmadiyya Road, me
a truck driver,
I am a truck driver, and every time I drive on this road, the residents complain about the dust. We have many influential people living here, but our roads are terrible.
Some parts of the road, though not tarred, are smooth, but leaves pedestrians to contend with the dust when vehicles drive by. Foster Abuaje is an engineer at Ga East District Assembly.
Now the issue is two on me. Either to scalify the road and make it a gravel road, or to fill the potholes the patching. Just use some gravel to be patching the holes for the road to be a little more trouble. So that's what I'm discussing with my chief executive and director. I think yesterday we had a meeting on it, and we are still working out to see what we should do on the roads. The major problem I have is if the roads are scarified, we will expose the gravel material. And as we are heading towards the rainy season, it will wash out. So maybe what the best alternative is to fill the holes with gravel for the meantime. That should be a routine. When it wash out, we fill. When it wash out, we fill until the road is awarded to a contractor to come on it.
Residents are upset about the terrible nature of their roads and want government to work on them urgently.
Politicians convince us during election campaigns, but after voting, we don't see any development. The road gets very bad when it rains, and it gets worse during the dry season.
Seeing the Abokobi road is terrible. You seeing the Hacho road is terrible. You see the Tema road is terrible, and we don't even know which road to use again.
Patricia Roxanne Hammond, JoyNews.
Oh. And that's where we'll bring the curtain down on the news, but it's where we're bringing the curtain up on the rest of the show. So much more to come. Mamabi joins us for all the headlines from the newspapers. And Daddy Ruru will bring you what's happening on the streets as you prepare to brave the traffic to get to work.